Hello everybody. We are starting Unit 4, Semantics, and in this lesson 15 we're going to deal with the nature of meaning. Okay, so first of all we're going to analyze a bit what semantics is about. So the authors say that it's the study of meaning in human language. So if we know the meaning of a sentence, you know its truth conditions. So if you say, I am a teacher at Josefina Conte, okay, there are many truth conditions there. Yes, that is my place of work, that Josefina Conte is in Corrientes. So you can say, I'm a teacher at Joaquín González in Buenos Aires, but I live in Corrientes. So if I understand, so I know and understand the meaning of language, I know that there are some truth conditions that I'm saying the truth. It's a study of the linguistic meaning of morphemes, words, phrases, and sentences. And in this lesson, we're going to deal with the linguistic meaning of morphemes and words and phrases. In semantics analysis, there is always an attempt to focus on what the words conventionally mean, rather than on what an individual speaker might think they mean or want them to mean on a particular occasion. So we know that we have different meanings. Our minds frame different meanings. So here is what the words conventionally mean in general terms. So there are some subfields of semantics. We have lexical semantics, which is the meaning of words and the meaning relationships among words, like synonyms, antonyms. Okay. Then phrasal or sentential semantics, the meaning of syntactic units larger than a word. So we are going to deal with ambiguity, with analyzing the meaning of sentences. And then another subfield of semantics that could be integrated into semantics is pragmatics. It's the study of how context affects meaning. So the question here is, what is meaning? So what language expresses about the world we live in or an imaginary world? So what a language expresses about the world. So its language has here a very, very strong connotation. It's a very difficult to determine precisely what meaning is in the first place, because sometimes it depends on culture, it depends on our perspective. So sometimes it's very difficult to determine what exactly it means. So linguists try to make an attempt, yes, to find out this characteristics. So we still know very little about the nature of meaning or how it is represented in the human mind. So the question here is, how is meaning analyzed? So there are three pairs, but we are going to deal with two here. I have just chosen two. Two terms play an important role in semantic analysis: connotation and denotation, intention and extension. So the first term in each pair relates to the language internal or intralinguistic side of meaning. Okay, so what you represent, what is your idea of it? And the second term, denotation, in this case, or extension, denotes the language external or extra-linguistic, what it represents, by what it is represented. And remember that when we studied semiotics, and we have the signs and the signifier, okay, signified and signifier. Okay, when we talk about signs, it's quite similar to that. So there are some, these are the proposals. So we have the connotation and denotation. So they said connotation is the set of associations that a word's use can evoke. So for example, we have the word winter. So if you think of a person who lives in Corrientes, how does that person think of winter? Like maybe sometimes it's a bit cold, a bit humid. Okay, and what happens with a person who lives in Canada or in Alaska? A lot of snow, or like very, very, very cold and freezing cold and white. Okay, you have like different representations, different ideas of it. And then we have the notation of referent. Referent, I think that's a very good word. It's an attempt to equate the meaning of a word or phrase with the entities, okay, to which it refers. So the denotation of a word dog corresponds to the set of canines. Yes, so for example, have a look here. You have the word Labrador, like connotation is a friend, companion, very sweet. And denotation is one breed of canine quadrupeds, that is to say 4-legged animals belonging to the dog family. That is the denotation, what it represents, okay, in the real world. Then the same as winter, snow, ice, freezing cold, the season between autumn and spring. So we have a connotation. Yes, what is the connotation of that word and denotation? Then we have intention and extension. So intention corresponds to its inherent sense, the concepts that it evokes again. The intention of an expression is the set of semantic properties which define it. For example, the term bird evokes language internal definitions like animate, not human, that are part of its intention. An extension corresponds to the set of entities that picks out in the word, that is to say the reference again. So it refers to the class of entities to which an expression can be applied. So if we think of the term bird, we're not going to say, well, it's an animal, it's not human. We're going to list the list of entities that they represent. For example, a dove, a parrot, a duck, an ostrich, a robin. Okay. So the phrase Prime Minister of England has as its extension an individual. Okay, nowadays, in that time, I'm sorry because I made a mistake here. John Major is not the Prime Minister anymore. It's, I think it's Boris. But its intention involves the concept leader of the governing party. Intention, the concept of leader of the governing party. I don't think of a person. Okay, so we have intention and extension. So bird, the extension, parrot, duck, ostrich, all animals that fit the defining properties of birds. That is animate, it's not human, it has wings, feathers. Word or phrase, capital of Massachusetts. The extension is Boston. Intention is the city, which is the seat of the government, the capital. The Pope, Benedict, okay, now it's Francis. Leader of the Roman Catholic Church. President of the United States, okay, 2006, the elected political leader of the United States. It's very simple, it's very easy. Okay, and then we have like a componential analysis. It's another approach to meaning that tries to represent a word's intention by breaking it down into smaller semantic components. This approach has long been used to analyze the meaning of certain types of nouns in terms of semantic features. So we have, for example, a man, human, it's male, it's an adult. A boy, it's human, it's male, it's not an adult. Okay, say table, it's not animate. Table, it's not animate, it's not human, it's female, it's not a horse, it's animate, it's not human, it's not female, it's an adult. Okay, very good. So here there are four major topics in semantics: the nature of meaning, then the conceptual system underlying meaning, and the contribution of syntactic structures to the interpretation of sentences, and the role of non-grammatical factors in the understanding of sentences. In this lesson, we're just going to deal with the nature of meaning, okay? So, within this idea of the nature of meaning, analyzing meaning, we have semantic relations among words and semantic relations among sentences, okay? So, with semantic relations among words, we have synonyms, antonyms, polysemy, homophony, and hyponymy. Homophony and hyponymy. So, synonyms, you know that very well. Words are expressions that have the same meanings in same or all contexts. Antonyms are words or phrases that are opposites with respect to some component of their meaning. Polysemy occurs where a word has two or more related meaning, and homophony exists where single forms has two or more distinct meanings. Okay, that's that. And hyponymy, a relationship between two words in which the meaning of one includes the meaning of the other. So have a look at some examples here. It is rare for words to have exactly the same meaning or perfect synonyms. It's not very common. And many linguists claim that it would be uneconomical for one language to have two or more words with exactly the same meaning, and thus prefer to define synonymy as extensive semantic similarity. So, have almost literally cab, taxi, big, large, car, automobile. Okay, there are many pairs, and we have learned them for a long time. So, with antonyms, okay, have opposite meanings. We have gradable antonymy that, we have small, medium, and large, and within that we have hot, warm, tepid, cool, cold, freezing, like it's gradable. Then we have complementary pairs. A person can be either present or absent, and either dead or alive. Okay, a person can't be either present or absent, and either dead or alive. So either or relationship or not X is the same as Y. Complementary pairs. Gradable pairs, the one that we saw here, relational opposite describe the same situation but from opposite perspective, like teacher, pupil, buy, sell, interviewer, interviewee. And directional opposites describe opposite directions of the movement, like come and go, rise and fall. Okay, those are different types of antonyms. And other morphological ways to form antonyms include the addition of the prefixes and in, now, this and this, like able, unable, sane, insane, sexist, not sexist. Okay, so we'll have to teach again. Here we work with morphology. Polysemy, it occurs where a word has two or more related, and this is a very important word, related meanings. So the word plain, for example, can have several related meanings, including isn't clear, plain English, undecorated, plain white t-shirt, not good looking, plain Jane. Okay, so some polysemy in English could be a bright, shining, intelligent, to glare, to shine intensely, to stare angrily, deposit minerals in the earth, money in the bank. Okay, some related meaning. On the other hand, with homophony, it exists where a single form has two or more entirely distinct meanings. And in this case, we make homographs and homophones. Homographs have the same spelling but different meanings and pronunciations, like dab, the kind of bird, and dab, past tense of dive, or conduct as a verb and conduct as a noun. Homophones have the same pronunciation but different senses, like see and see, so and so, to and to play, flower, flower. Okay, homographs that are not pronounced identically, such as dab and dove, are also called heteronyms. Okay, so these are just, or you say, well, how many names here? But I think that it's very important for us to know, okay, to know about this and how we can work with these examples. So some homophones like bat, a mouse like flying mammal, a piece of equipment used in baseball, bank, cloud, and pen, a writing instrument, or a small enclosure. So polysemy and homophony create lexical ambiguity, that a single form has two or more meanings. Like Liz bought a pen, it could mean either that Liz purchased an instrument to write with or that she bought a small enclosure. Okay, so they can create kind of depth. So, and in this case, the context is very important. Okay, so here I like this chart. Okay, so we have synonyms, same similar meaning. Synonyms, yes. Antonym, no. Polysemy, no. Okay. Pronounced identically, irrelevant. Some same spelling, historically related. Okay. Then we have hyponymy and hyperonymy. The last semantic relation was hierarchies in the vocabulary. So hyponymy occurs when the meaning of one word is included in the meaning of the other. So, for example, peach, orange, and mango are hyponyms of the more general expression fruit. This means that peach, orange, and mango are subordinate to the term fruit. On the other hand, the term fruit is a hyperonymy because it is subordinate to the more specific terms peach, orange, and mango. Okay, so hyperonymy is subordinate, and hyponymy is the subordinate. Okay,